Hey, what's going on, my beautiful Aries? How you guys doing today? I am the spiritual bodybuilder, and I am here to bring you your September 2019 astrology reading. So I hope you guys are having a great month so far. These videos are coming out a little bit late. I sincerely apologize. I was going through a move and having a lot of stuff going on, as I'm sure you have too. Me being Aries rising, I can really resonate with this energy. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this month, the overall themes are day-to-day activity, work. We have a lot of activity in our sixth house that deals with just the small, minute details, all right? Like reconfiguring, restructuring, beginning new habits and systems to get our life in order, okay? We've been doing a lot of internal work, a lot of purging, a lot of identifying, and, Source is finally saying like, okay, now you've done a lot of the work. Okay, now we have to put it into practical application action mode. So, and with Mars now being in a new 2-year cycle after the sun passed it, Mars is like, on a whole nother level. Like this is sort of like the hero's journey. And we're starting to get some clarification on what to do and where to go and how to get there. Okay, so one step at a time. Towards the end of the month, on the 23rd, the sun will be going into Libra, and that will start shining the light on our relationships. What does our relationships look like? What is our relationship with ourselves? All right, we're going to start to look at the little nuances of what's going on in our life in relationship to our relationships. Now, whatever situation you have going on in your life, this will depend on your specific chart, but basically, it's going to be going into analyzing, okay, what is working for you, what is not working for you, and why. Okay, so if you're in a dysfunctional relationship and the universe is going to be screaming at you right now, like, okay, this is right, this is not right. So say, for example, you're in a shitty relationship or a toxic relationship, right? Think good things are going to not happen. You're going to hit so many roadblocks all over the place. It's either change or just suffer. And it's going to really urge us to take hold of that courage, of that bravery within us, to be true to ourselves and not be a martyr. Okay, this is very like calling out the martyr, calling out the victim within ourselves, and being really brutally honest. So you got to be really honest with yourself, and no sacrificing yourself for others right now. That's the big key learning lesson here. Okay, so we also had a new moon in Virgo on the 30th, which is right on the cusp coming into this month. So that's set the stage and the precedence for some massive activity to change, right? With Uranus trine to all the personal planets in Virgo from Taurus to Virgo, that's a lot of good communication in regards to self-esteem, self-confidence, self-worth, shaking things up and changing and making us step into that self-confidence, that self-respect, that self-empowered version of us, right? And then it being trine also over to Capricorn, the Pluto, Saturn, South Node, that's giving us an ability to naturally release all these structures and all these belief systems that are no longer serving us. Okay, so now another significant aspect of this month is that Saturn will be going direct on the 18th of this month. Okay, so I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but just bear with me because it's all going to come together at the end. So Saturn going direct, the weeks leading up to that, right? It's like slowing down. So it may feel like we have all these new things we want to take action, all these things coming in, but it's like we're burning rubber at the stop sign and it ain't letting us go anywhere, right? So that's where the patience comes in, and that's where the trusting the process comes into play. Because when we trust the process, we allow things to flow, we allow things to fall away, they need to fall away, and then we allow ourselves to step into what feels right, even if it's not easy. Okay, so Saturn going direct is going to be a really big deal because Saturn in retrograde motion is sort of like looking at a life purpose, like, why can it just come together? What the hell am I doing wrong? I can't figure it out, right? So Saturn going direct is like, all right, you've done the work, you've handled it, so now it's time to go forward. So these signs and these synchronicities and these puzzle pieces are going to start coming into our awareness and our consciousness here in the next few weeks, but we can't really fully go forward until it goes direct. And when it goes direct, you know, like this Saturn moves really slow. So when it's slowing down to retrograde, it's really slowing everything down. When it starts to go forward, it starts to go slow. But once it picks up speed, you know, give it a couple weeks. It has to sort of wake up and get going. And then once it gets doing that, boom, we'll be good to go. Okay. So then we also have a full moon at 21 degrees of Pisces on the 13th. Okay, so the week of, you know, between the 13th and the 18th area is going to be incredibly purgative, purging a lot of stuff, especially for us Aries. This is going to be in our 12th house. Okay, that 12th house is the unknown, it's the unconscious, it's the and with Jupiter, you know, going to be exactly squaring Neptune again here for the last time this year. This is sort of like finally saying, all right, hey, look, you know, like these are the belief systems. This is the ego wants to do this, but the spirit wants to do this. So we're going to be, the spirit is stronger than ego right now, but spirit is communicating with ego, trying to teach it, trying to get it in alignment with, so that what we want in spirit and in ego is the same. Our heart and our mind are aligned. All right. And this Pisces full moon is going to really be giving us a big push into that direction of the clarity and understanding of how to align our spirit with our mind. Okay. But through that, you know, it's like being in the chrysalis, being like, you know, primordial goo and being molded into this new version of us with new thought patterns and new behavior processes, and identifying these, you know, escapist natures, these addictive natures that we have within us that are no longer serving us. And it's kind of kicking us in the ass. Be like, hey, look, you need to get out and get some. You just can't be binging on Netflix all day long and expect to get anywhere. Like, you need to make shit happen. So go out and make it happen. You have gone through it. You have felt it. You've dealt with it. You've looked at it. You've seen it. You've done the work. And especially if you're watching this video, you have done the work, and it's time to start reaping the rewards. But with these rewards comes hard work, comes dedication, comes the need to be brutally honest with yourself in the process. And this is going to be calling us out. You know, this is the universe calling us out right now, because next year is when we're really going to have to put these into activation mode, because the world is going to have an enormous mass awakening next year. And this is the work we're doing right now to get that going. Excuse me. So we're going to be going from heavy Virgo season and all these personal planets, the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, and to a similar extent, the Moon, all traveling from Virgo into Libra, right? So this is, Virgo is purification. It's clearing it out. It's getting down to brass tacks and stripping things down to the core, right? And it's also getting the details figured out, looking at the little nuances in between the spaces, and seeing what needs to be done. Then we get into Libra season, that's relationships, but the most important relationship is with ourselves. So this energy is a lot about really getting to know ourselves on a deeper level. And as we do that, we magnetize the right people, you know, from our heart center into our life to work with us and help us all get to a higher state of consciousness and, you know, the next level of success, the next level of happiness, yada, 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 all that fun stuff. Okay. So on the, let's see, on September 14th, we're going to be having Venus and Mercury heading into Libra. All right. So during the full moon in Pisces, we're going to be having Venus and Mercury conjunct at 29 degrees of Virgo. Now, 29 degrees Virgo is a master number, and that is, you know, Mercury is communication. Venus is the divine feminine. So this is like receiving this masterful amount of information and of energy in the sense of purification and discipline and necessary motivations to get things moving forward, because we may be having these things that are holding us back. And right now we're like, I don't know why. This doesn't make any sense. I try to push forward, but I feel like I'm forcing it. The key is that we're not supposed to we don't need to force it, but we're conditioned to act that way, right? So this is teaching us to let it flow. And once we do really, truly deep down, let it flow, then things just start to happen. And the divine feminine energy is, just recently passed Mars too, last month. And that's about, okay, allowing ourselves to receive in that really uncomfortable place that we didn't really think that we knew how to receive. It's about learning how to let that receptivity come through, and us to be a channel for that energy to go and make things happen. Okay. And with the Saturn going direct, that's going to implement, that's in our 10th house of our life purpose. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now about surrounding the idea and the practical application and process of the life purpose that we really know deep down that we deserve and that we want to live. Okay. So that's coming up and it's getting clearer. But as it gets clearer, we're at the top of that mountain, dude. Like, it gets harder to climb at the top. But once we get to that top, then we look down, we're like, oh shit, look at all those people that need to get up. Well, I made it up here. Now I need to be extra strong so that I can bring all these other people up here with me. All right. I got to teach them. This is a big, like, mentor, teaching, coaching, maybe even coaching yourself, trusting the process, allowing spirit to teach you, diving into more esoteric nature. We have Jupiter in the 9th house, all about esoteric knowledge, right? It's about long distance travel too, and about belief systems. But really, all this energy and all this information is about purifying our belief systems so that we can step into our life purpose the way that we are meant to do it, the way spirit wants us to do it. Okay. Now, on September 28th, we have a new moon at 5 degrees Libra. Okay. So this is bringing new energy for relationships and new energy for identifying what we really want in relationships. Now, this may be, we may have some surprising things come up because we have a quincunx from Uranus to the sun and moon. So basically, as all these personal planets are coming into Libra, they're going to be quincunxing Uranus. And we just went through, a trine with Uranus. It was all like, yay, everything's clear and everything's happy. Now it's like, okay, now that we purified that, now that we got through that, now we're coming into relationships. What do we need to look at deeper, and what's not really working with relationships? And it's like levels in a video game. Like, we purified our own shit, and now we got to go up and implement other people's shit as we strengthen our magnetism out in the world. And with that new shit, we have new problems and new things that we need to learn. But the good thing is, with this purity of energy, we're going to see it quicker, we're going to see it more efficiently, and we're going to bring it through, and we're going to persevere, and it's going to be all good because we're going to have the strength. We building up our strength because we're going to need it. Okay. So, and then we're also going to have Mercury and Venus quincunxing Neptune as well. So, again, Mercury is communication. So this could be frustrating communication, something that you don't want to look at or feel or face, but you have to. All right. And that's part of this process of ascension, of living our true or higher purpose, is facing that fear. Because essentially the quincunx energy is bringing our fear up into our face and saying, hey, you need to look at this because it's trying to teach you something. But it hurts. We don't want to look at it, but we have to. And when we do, we'll realize, oh shit, that wasn't that bad. And then we're just going to go forward. As long as we stay focused in the present moment, but each step that we take forward, observing our present moment as, okay, are we in where we want to be, or does this suck? And do we have to change something? And why do we have to change it? And then once we figure out why, okay, then let's take that action. Let's make it happen. Let's go forward. We learn, rinse and repeat. This is a rinse and repeat. We're finally starting to get the, okay, I see what's going on. Like, clearly it's not going to end anytime soon. So I might as well just surrender to it and go and it's all good. It's almost like you get a chuck it in the fucking bucket and like, whatever, dude. Like, you have to let the chips fall they may. This is, if you have control issues, if you try to control everything in your life, you are going to suffer. Okay? You need to let go of control. You need to let it flow. Let go and let it flow. That's the name of this month. Okay? So on that note, I hope that information provides you with some clarity and some insight on how to go forward this month. If you like this content, please comment below, and please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And I will see you guys next month, as I'll be doing these every month from now on. All right? Thank you. Have a great month.